Dan Geltrude, with this ever-moving trend right now where rich guys seek out safer tax environments, not only for themselves, likely, but certainly for their companies. Dan, and the trend goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, Neil. And as we see people move from the West Coast and from the Northeast down to places like Texas or Florida, it's quite clear why they're doing it. Lower taxes, lower cost of living, there's less traffic. You could argue perhaps a better quality of life. And in the case of Elon Musk as well, the non-union worker issue is also an advantage for him in terms of setting up plants in a right-to-work state. So this phenomenon that we're seeing right now, this is going to continue into the foreseeable future as states really lay out what they're about. Are they a business-friendly state, or are they a high-tax state?
You know, it's interesting, too, because this was the week it got lost in the saucer. Cathie Wood of ARK Investment fame, a big Tesla investor, by the way, not as much, but certainly in technology. She's been, obviously profiting off the huge run-up in a lot of these technology shares. She's moving to Florida, St. Petersburg, I believe. But again, that trend continues. And again, in a very low, no-tax state.
Yeah, and the thing about Cathie Wood is this, Neil, when you're talking about an investment company like that, it really, really doesn't matter where the employees are located. So why would you want to be, let's say, in the New York metropolitan area with very high taxes when you could make a move to Florida and really have substantial savings, and not just for someone like Cathie Wood, but across the board for all the employees, because they don't have to be, in the office anymore. So this trend is going to continue. And, I want to make one other point here, Neil. It's not only about economics. There is a substantial political impact to this. Why? Because as we see migration with these states and population changes, what does that do? It changes the electoral college, and it also changes how many representatives you get in the House.
Good
and
point.
We're seeing right now how important a single vote can be. So it's an economic change, but it's also a political shift that I'm sure is not escaping people in Washington.
Now, I don't know, this might be more urban legend than fact, but I understand that Elon Musk has passed along to workers, especially those who would be moving to Texas, with the opening line, how would you like a 15% pay raise? Well, not offering that himself, just explaining that moving out of California, they'll be paying 15% less in taxes, so their net will go up that amount. That's a pretty compelling sell, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is, to just say, look, by moving, you get a 15% increase. And Neil, it's a 15% increase to the bottom line. That's not the top line. So
That's right.
That is truly a great advantage. That's the accountant in me coming out. But that's the truth. It's more money in your pocket. That incentivizes people.
While I've got you here, you probably heard yesterday that there was agreement among 136 nations right now to go ahead and pursue this global corporate minimum tax, 15%. Ireland, the latest to go along with that, which was sort of like dragging its feet on this. Some allowances were made for Ireland, which has a 12.5% tax rate. I don't want to get in the weeds on that. Suffice it to say that it's going to happen. What do you think?
Well, it's very interesting, Neil, because a lot of people thought that Ireland, for example, would hold out because they had really benefited from the way this setup was. But still, if they have to go up to 15%, that's not a huge jump for that, but it still keeps them very competitive and will keep other nations very competitive on the worldwide scale here. And it's still, the United States is at 21%. Presumably going up to somewhere between 25 and 30. To me, the outcome here is you may very well have American companies that end up paying more taxes for which the United States doesn't get benefit of.
All right. And there is, I think, a 2-year delay for American technology giants. We'll see how that goes. But thank you very, very much, Dan Geltrude, on all of that. Now,